What's up everyone, hope you're all well. Yeller here, and today I'm going to be doing a complete guide on the level Block Party. Yesterday I showed you a quick clip of a neat trick where you can avoid the mess at the end, which I will be covering in today's guide, and you may have also seen my clip where I eliminate the entire lobby, minus one duck of course. And honestly, this is one of my favorite levels simply because of the variance that can happen. There are 3 different endings to this level, and I really hope it's something they incorporate into levels in future seasons. I think having different versions of every level is probably the best Fall Guys we can get. So before we get into it, as always, if you enjoyed the video, toss it a like, and if you're new here and would like to see more detailed Fall Guys guides, consider subscribing. Let's get into it. So the majority of Block Party is going to be the same thing no matter what until the final 20 seconds of the level. You're going to have walls to avoid and beams to jump over. So let's talk about that first, and then we'll get into the 3 types of endings you can get, the best one to eliminate people on, and a way to avoid the end entirely and qualify. So as you can see in the clip that's been playing, I like to stand about 75% of the way towards the front of the level, and by doing this, you ensure if you get grabbed or knocked over, you have plenty of time and space to run backwards and make up for any mistakes. Otherwise, it's just running back and forth, and when the beams come that you need to jump over, picking a spot that's somewhat away from other players and jumping. I typically don't recommend grabbing on this level unless you get the left and right wall variance at the end, just because if you get caught under a beam for even a second, it's not something that you can jump out of. Now, I do always grab when there is a small space that everyone has to fit through. For example, when the entire platform is walled off, like shown here, except a little door right in the center, I always grab there just to make sure I don't get pushed back and I make my way through the door. Okay, so now that we have the basics of the level, let's talk real quick about the final 3 endings you can get. First, if you get the ending with the beams that are constantly coming at you, all you have to do is pick a spot where you won't get touched by anyone else and time your jumps while standing still. I typically like to pick a spot about 75% of the way up the platform and next to a wall as shown here, and I find this is the easiest of the finals to not get eliminated. Next is the final where you get the walls that rotate from the middle to the sides, and this is another one where you can grab, but most people are going to have the option of going left or right when you get the middle wall, so you probably won't get many, if any, eliminations by grabbing other players. Again, I do recommend staying near the front and just walking back and forth. And finally, the best ending, the walls that make you go from far right to far left. I'm going to show you 2 clips here and explain what happens and how to do it. So first, if you want to just qualify here and you're not trying to eliminate anyone, you need to be up front and in first place. Otherwise, you'll just get caught in the whirlwind of bodies if someone is up front and grabbing. Now, if you are looking to eliminate as much of the lobby as possible, you want to be up front and you want to hold the person behind you. You want to hold them at about the middle of the wall and hold them long enough to where you can escape but they get clipped. After you do that, you want to pick another player and do the same thing to them. This will make a pileup of bodies where it's really hard to escape from, and you should have a lot less people going into the finals. This clip here ended with me and one other player going to Fall Mountain, where I was able to close out the win. Now granted, this is the only time I've ever been able to get it down to just 2 players, but it was still a lot of fun and it was pretty cool to see. Now, on to the quote-unquote exploit. This has still been not fixed, and honestly, it's something to maybe try for fun if you're playing with your buddies, or just to try it, but it's not something that I would typically recommend doing every time you get Block Party. Especially if they end up getting the new anti-cheat in, and that detects if you go outside the typical area of the map. So be warned, do this at your own discretion. Basically, you can jump on certain beams, and if you land on it, they'll carry you through midair all the way until the timer stops as shown here. You can only jump on certain beams, which from my testing appears to be about the 5th to 7th beam, or around the 40 to 30 second mark with the time left. And if you try and land on the other beams, you just fall over and then you have to make up for lost time. So again, it's honestly an easy enough level to qualify for, so it's not something I would typically recommend doing all the time, but if you just want to try it for laughs, have at it. So that's going to be it for the Block Party guide today. I do want to let you all know I will be uploading gameplay commentaries over the weekend, as that's easier than making a full video, and making these videos does take quite a bit of time. The gameplay commentaries seem to be something that people enjoy, so please feel free to check those out. Again, thank you all for watching so much. If you enjoyed the video today or learned something, toss it a like, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you next time.